Hey there, guys.
Hi, how are you today?
Good. And yourselves?
Doing good. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to do a fireside chat with us today.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. All right, so we can go get started. So, hi everyone. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with Franco Vega. Franco Vega is a talented and inspiring individual with a wide range of skills and experiences. He's an accomplished actor who's appeared in movies, TV shows, commercials, and stage productions. But his talents don't stop there. He's also a powerful motivational speaker who shared his message in places like Mastermind Magazine. On top of all that, he's an experienced entrepreneur with over 25 years in business. Franco's journey is full of creativity, passion, and leadership, and we're very excited to learn from his story today. Franco, thank you for joining us today in a fireside chat with the GVHS Medical Society.
The pleasure is mine. What a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. Okay, so we'll go get started with our first question.
Hi, Franco. I'm Basil, and I'm the Secretary of Green Valley Medical Society. And my question is, as we prepare to take our next steps, whether that's moving up a grade, heading to college, or figuring out what comes next, what advice would you give us about carrying confidence into the future, especially when past challenges or doubts start creeping in?
Great question, Basil. Thanks for asking it. I would like to share something that really stuck with me. A lesson I learned from two amazing mentors, Dean Graziosi and Brendan Burchard. And honestly, it's something I wish someone had told me when I was your age. Let's just jump right into it. If you want to live a bold, meaningful life, whether that's becoming a doctor, making a difference in your community, or growing into your best self, you got to let go of the baggage that you may not even realize that you carry. I'm talking about doubts, old disappointments, fears that linger from earlier years, or even pressure that you put on yourself to always be perfect. Maybe it's something that started in middle school or early high school, a moment that made you feel small or unsure of yourself, but that doesn't define who you are today. Look, those chapters, they're done. You've lived them, you learned from them. Now you're turning the page to a brand new chapter, and this one is yours to write. It takes courage to move forward, to forgive people who have hurt you, to forgive yourself for the moments that you weren't proud of. But here's the truth. Everything that happened has brought you to this exact moment right now. Every awkward stage, every tough class, every time you felt like giving up, every time someone didn't believe in you, that was just a preparation. But those moments, they don't belong in your future unless you let them tag along. If you keep replaying all those negative experiences in your head, you're not leaving enough room for the good stuff, big dreams, bold ideas, your future. You're meant to dream big. You're meant to create something awesome with your life, but you've got to clear the space for that to happen. It's hard to be real and confident if you're always thinking about what went wrong. And I know even high achievers, they carry these doubts. Things like, I don't know if I'm good enough, or I failed once, so I'll probably fail again. Or what if I mess up and everybody notices? But those thoughts don't have to run the show anymore. That was then. Today is fresh. Today is clean. Today showed up for you. Whether you believe in God, the universe, or just good timing, today is here to give you a new shot. And you don't have to be perfect. You just have to show up. Show up for your goals. Show up for your future patients. Show up for yourself. Your journey doesn't have to be all figured out. That's what makes it exciting, because you've got to believe that where you're going is way more important than where you've been. So to everyone moving up, graduating, or just trying to find your way, don't let the past take up space that belongs to your future. Let's start fresh. Let's start bold. Let's build something amazing because the next chapter is yours.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your response. As someone who really has a lot of imposter syndrome and like is a perfectionist and is always thinking that I'm doing something wrong and I'm always dwelling on the parts of my life that I mess up, I tend to forget how far I've come and how much I've improved as a person, how much I've improved like professionally, at school, at work, and like how far I'm going to go. So it's nice to hear from someone who has gone through about what I've gone through, that I should just like not forget, but like not have as much weight as I have on like past actions or things that I've messed up with or like who I was in the past. Um, so yeah, I really appreciate your response. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah, let the past go. Let it burn in the fire.
Hello, Franco. My name is Aaliyah Preciado, and I am the social media director for the Green Valley Medical Society. So, for my question, with social media being such a big part of our lives and the pressure it can put on our self-esteem, how can we shift our focus from comparing ourselves to others to truly measuring our own growth and progress?
Thank you for that question, Aaliyah. Well, let's start with something important. Something that can really change the way you look at yourself, especially at your age. When we talk about comparing ourselves to others, it's easy to get caught up in the pressure, right? Social media makes it feel like we're constantly measuring our worth against someone else's presumed perfect life. You see people with millions of followers, flawless pictures, and it seems like they have everything. Trust me, they don't. But it doesn't reflect you, and it certainly doesn't reflect your journey. Here's the truth. Your self-esteem should have nothing to do with your peers. It's not about the number of likes, views, or followers they have. If you're always comparing yourself to someone else, it's like you're slowly chipping away at your own confidence. Each comparison, no matter how small, makes you feel less than. So let's be real for a second. Social media often shows unrealistic beauty standards, highlight reels, and filters that don't really tell the true story. You can't measure your worth by someone else's polished version of reality, so why even try? Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to you. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to you. Look at the you from yesterday, from last semester, from a year ago. How have you grown? What have you learned? And are you showing up every day for your best self? That shift from measuring against others to measuring against your own progress changes everything. And it's not about asking, did someone else do it better? Because that doesn't matter. What does matter is, did I do my best? And if the answer is no, that's okay. The goal is to realign, refocus, and improve for the next time. Not because you're not enough, but because you know that you can be better. And that thought, I can be better, should be one of the most powerful ideas that you carry with you. Working on yourself doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It means you believe that you can become better.
Well, thank you so much. I think what you're talking about really resonates with me because, well, especially as a teenager now, I'm always finding myself, comparing myself to like other people on social media, and not even just on social media, but like in real life too, like you said, like my peers, my friends, my classmates. And I think what you said was important about, instead of focusing on comparing yourself to other people, it's important to look at my progress and how far I've come. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great.
Hi, Franco. I'm Isabella, and I'm a member of the GVHS Medical Society. I'm a junior, so I know as a high school student, it's hard to pursue your dreams. So my question is, what advice would you give to young people who are trying to discover their passion and purpose in life?
Well, if I could go back and talk to my younger self in high school, one of the main things I would tell myself is don't worry about what other people think of you. Each of you are unique, and that's your greatest strength. It's easy to get caught up in what others think of you, but remember, their opinions don't define who you are. Don't follow the crowd. Be the leader, not the sheep. Think about it. The world is full of incredible people who decided to march to the beat of their own drum. They didn't let other people's opinions hold them back. If they did, we wouldn't have the innovations and the creativity that we see today. So here's my advice. Focus on what makes you you. Celebrate your individuality. Whether you're passionate about art, science, writing, or sports, embrace it. Be proud of your talents and your beliefs, because that is what will lead you to happiness and success. In the words of someone wise, why fit in when you were born to stand out? Be bold, be courageous, and remember, you have a unique fingerprint for a reason. Let that guide you, and don't let anyone dull your sparkle. So whenever you find yourself worrying about others' opinions, remind yourself that those doubts don't hold any power over you unless you let them. So stand tall, believe in your worth, and let your light shine just the way you are.
Thank you for your response. So recently I've been having trouble with worrying about what other people think of me, but I'm gonna take your advice. I'm trying to become more bold and trying to be experiment with stuff that I actually like. But thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. It doesn't really, what other people think of you, it's not going to matter in the future. And to be completely honest with you, a lot of people are worried about themselves. So, yeah, don't worry about what other people think, because they're not on your journey. You're on your own journey, and just stick to your path. And that's all that's really, truly important.
Hi, Franco. My name is Alham, and I'm a member of the GVHS Medical Society. My question to you is, what inspired you to become a motivational coach, and how do you keep up with your continual momentum?
Thank you, Elham, for that question. I appreciate it. What inspired me to become a transformational coach is because there was a time when I was facing some challenges in my life, and I didn't know how to properly deal with them or have the right tools to deal with them. But I was fortunate enough to be introduced to transformational coaches and the coaching world. It was the best thing that ever happened to me, and it changed my life forever. I used to go through life looking at things in a one-dimensional way. Things I learned on my own growing up in this world. People don't teach these practices enough in school, when I mean transformational, and how to see things through life. I used to go through life looking at things in a one-dimensional way. Things I learned on my own growing up in this world. People don't teach these practices in school. I didn't realize that there are multiple sides to every situation to seriously take into consideration. I learned about perspective and learned how to see life's challenges, not only through my eyes, but through a new pair of glasses, different perspectives. I also learned how not to take things personally and not to worry about what other people think, because that doesn't matter at the end of the day. I learned so much that changed my entire life around, too much to even put into one session. But today, I walk through life confident. I have clarity. I understand that when things happen to me, they happen to me for a reason, and that there is a lesson to be learned from it. I now know how to turn my obstacles into opportunities, which helps me build my resilience. And I see a lot of my friends and my peers still walking around, they're stuck in the old mentality, frustrated, in pain, trying to find a way, blaming themselves for everything. So I decided to spread the word and share my messages to my friends and my peers to help them transform their lives. And much to my pleasant surprise, it's been well received, and people are receiving the help. What started off for me as hard work has turned into an enjoyable pleasure on a daily basis when I see all the people that are making progress and bettering their lives. So thanks for asking that question, Elham.
Thank you so much for your response. Your response really resonated with me because I think in today's world, many of our individuals, or especially our adolescents, they're very stuck in one place where they feel stuck. And it's usually because they think, well, there's only one way to get out of the situation, or they try to think of the best way to get out of the situation. But many of the times, every solution is different for each individual. And I think, having a coach that inspires everyone to make your own unique decisions is really necessary, because a lot of our individuals in today, they're really confused, or they're not aware that there's different ways that they can go about their problems. So I think that's a great way to help our individuals today. Thank you.
I absolutely agree with you, because I was there once and I was stuck there for a long time. And, if you don't have the right tools to balance out, every situation that approaches you in life, you can miss out on a lot of opportunities. So I'm glad I'm in a place now where I'm actually accepting more opportunities and I'm not stuck. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm glad that resonated with you.
Wow, thank you. So that concludes this fireside chat. We got so much wonderful insight, and for everyone who's here in this meeting and anyone who's watching this, I really hope that you guys will remember this fireside chat and take this knowledgeable advice with you throughout your lives, because a lot of the stuff he's saying, it's really true. And it would be very fortunate to learn this stuff now at this age than have to learn for ourselves. So I really hope you guys remember this and take this wonderful advice with you, because I know I will. Thank you so much, Franco.
It was my pleasure. Great to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. Bye.